All right, in this video, I'm going to be talking about why does the math work? So I so appreciate the people who comment on my videos and in my Telegram channel because they asked me this question, why does the math work? The last video I did, I gave all of my numbers in terms of prospects to how many people join and things like that. And so I'm going to cover that one. I'm also going to cover what designates the qualified lead. All right, and so those two questions I'm going to answer. And I'm going to start off with the math. That would be interesting. All right, in an earlier video, I showed that what I really love is the 90-day goal broken into daily actions, okay? And so 4 qualified leads per day is 192 leads. And then times 4, okay, so 4 quarters in a year would equal 768 leads. I round that up to about 800, okay? Estimates about $100,000 a year, in a year, all right? And if the products are consumable and the people are still consuming and things like that, then it would repeat, okay? All right, now you know what must be done. Okay, so that's what I showed. I broke it down into other things. I showed this as well. 12-month plan, 3.2 leads if you want it in 12 months, 5.3 leads if you want it in 6 months, 10.3 leads if you want it in 3 months. Okay, so that's 12 months, 6 month, 3 month plan. The decision is yours because people will say, how long does that take? And I always go, it's not time. It's action. It's how many are you going to move, the quantity of leads across the pipeline. All right. And if this seems a lot to you, I got to tell you, I don't know any business in the world that doesn't need 3.2 qualified leads. All right. So we're going to bump that up to 4 because there's no such thing as a 0.2 person. And so 4 leads a day, right? Look at a convenience store, look at any store, and I can almost guarantee that they're going to be doing this anyway. So it's not a lot is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so continuing on with why does this math work, I'm going to start breaking it down a little bit here. So all network marketing company comp plans are based on building lines of sales teams, okay? And so this would be a line. If this is you, this would be a line. And what I sketched here is that you get somebody and that person gets people. And then that person gets people. And that person gets people, okay? And what are these people? These are people who want to be sales reps to promote the network marketing products, network marketing company's products. Okay, so that's what this sales team is. If you built a football team, would it be all right for this person, the person that you got, to tell a buddy of his that he went to college with? Yeah, it'd be all right, right? So, yeah. So, in other words, it's building a team. And the team contributes for 40 active downline. Okay, so this number, make a note of it, okay? This is gold. All right, so if this builds to 40 people down a line, there's a magic that happens. Now, statistically speaking, and I have to preface it with that, if I flipped a coin 2 times, is it guaranteed to 1 time land on heads and 1 time land on tails? No, it's not guaranteed. But if I flipped it, let's say 1,000 times, it would average to be around 50% heads, 50% tails. All right, so I want you to think with that mentality because 40 down a line means statistically that 1 will make $100,000. And that's gold. That's magic. Okay? And I'll tell you why in just a minute. All right. So let's say that you put somebody there and they don't get 2, that get 2, that get 2, that get 2. So team contributes or not. And so what happens here? That means that I'm going to sponsor every one of those. You get what I'm saying? So this side builds 40 on their own or contributes a little bit, and this one over here doesn't. I am absolutely fine with doing the whole thing myself. I assume that I'm going to have to do the whole thing. And the reason being is that if you were to look at my genealogy report, you'll see the same thing every time. Not every time, but most of the time. You will see a person does nothing, a person does nothing, a person does nothing, a person does nothing. And then all of a sudden there's just this. Okay, so they blew it up. And so there's that huge organization that's sitting under a big stack of people that I sponsored that didn't do anything. And so that person finished the 40. This side finished the 40. And so what does that equal? All right. In my compensation plan, it equals $100,000, $105,000 a year, as long as the volume stays. Okay. You get this picture now. And I'm going to go back to this. It's not just my comp plan. Okay. Every single network marketing comp plan is based upon building lines, whether it is a binary, so you only build 2, or it's a unilevel where you get cut off in volume here, but you can put more, you can sponsor people out this way. And I see a lot of people with the focus of going wide, but the magic is this way. All right? Drive it. If these people won't, if this side won't do it, then I just keep on sponsoring. Okay? Now, if your company doesn't allow you to place down below, then you have no choice but to go wide. And you'll probably have to go 40 wide in order to find the one that's going to do the pipeline. Because the magic, in other words, what's the magic? This 40 right here is the magic. And so what you're trying to do always is build a line. And the reason that the number is 40 is, statistically speaking, 1 out of 40 will actually do the pipeline in a high enough quantity to build something. Okay? I hope you really got that magic right there. All right. So build 2 lines, 100,000 a year. And I think that that's pretty close to the comp plans that I've looked at. Maybe a little bit less. And a lot of times it's all messed up because there's all these different ways that you can earn. And so this person would have to earn a certain amount in order to get a bonus on it or something like that. If you sponsored a person, that person doesn't achieve a certain rank, then you don't get the full payout on the volume or something like that. In other words, there's these tripwires that are in a lot of comp plans. And so I can't guarantee that. All right. I don't want to make you think that that is, but you'll have to look at your own comp plan and figure out whether it will or not. Okay. All right. So 1 in 40 will do the pipeline. That's the thing you want to circle, freeze frame it, take a picture of it, whatever it is that you want to do to remember that 1 out of 40 will do the pipeline. You need to be one of those 40. All right. So why does the math work? Well, worst case scenario. I'm going to give you the worst case scenario. Okay. If I had to build 2 entire lines myself, it's going to be 80 people, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to go back. I got to show you something. I suggest when you're building a line is that you put 1 here, then 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And the reason being is you want to double your odds that you won't put the 2 leaders in the same line. You see, because if it's 1 out of 40 and you happen to, sponsor this person and then that person ends up blowing it up and you sponsored this one in the same line over here, you see what I'm saying? In other words, you don't want to put 2 people who are going to do the pipeline on the same line, because in a binary, you would have to build both sides, okay? So I just want to make sure that I showed you that. All right, if I had to build 2 entire lines myself, worst case scenario, if I had nobody to talk to, I put that in quotes because it's kind of odd to me, with billions of people, you have nobody to talk to, and I could only buy leads. Average $5 per lead times 800 is $4,000 per line. Okay? No, both lines. No, 400 times 5 is $2,000 to build line 1. $2,000 to build the second line. So that's going to be $4,000, right? In my comp plan, that's $105,000. That's a great return on investment. Spend $4,000 to make $100,000. Why does the math work? That ROI, that's why. How many times am I willing to spend $4,000 to make $100,000? All right. I want to make sure that you understand that I did not make a claim. There are a lot of variables. But a lot of the variables, most of them are figured into the math. And I'll show you that in a second, all right? And so it's not an income claim. It's not a financial claim. I'm not suggesting you to buy leads. I know a lot of leaders who have built never buying leads. Okay? So I was just trying to show you a worst case scenario where if I had to do it all myself, I would do it gladly. All right. Okay, so let me move to the second question, and I will answer this thing that I promised over here, which is the variables. Okay, so what is a qualified lead? So if I wrote that you need to talk to 4 qualified leads, well, what designates qualified? All right, so here's pipeline. And you generate a lead, you contact the lead, you set an appointment for them to see a presentation, follow up, and get a customer. Every business in the world does this. Every politician in the world does this. Every doctor, every attorney, everything, every church that needs a congregation, they're going to have to generate leads, contact, set an appointment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so sometimes you don't have to do that set appointment thing. Okay, to answer the question, what is a qualified lead? A person who agrees to watch a video. Don't make it more complicated than that. I know the yeah, but. I know all of the yeah, buts. Yeah, but I'm running a sales funnel online and I'm not setting appointments. Okay, if the person opted in to see a video, he agreed, or he or she agreed to watch the video. Okay? All right. So it counts as a qualified lead. I need to hammer that down. I have to make a decision on it. And me and my marketing guy, we spent a lot of time trying to well, yeah, but what about this? And yeah, but what about this? I know all those yeah, buts. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story. So way back in 1989, there was a video that I would send to prospects, okay? And I would send them in a priority mail package that cost $3.25 to send. I also had one other item that was in there. I don't have a copy of that. Okay, and so that video is going to be watched. And so I would call. All right, so how did I generate the lead? I was running an ad in the Washington Post newspaper. Okay, and after a while, I said, you know what? I can, because I kept calling the same lady to put my ad in. And she said, you ought to think about doing a contract. And so I did a year contract to do leads on Saturday and Sunday, so in the weekend paper. All right. So this is what the package was that I was sending to people. And I'm telling you this story because it's very valuable for you to see how to build one of these, like how to build your pipeline. You can build it in a lot of ways. This is the template. All of this stuff right here is a template. And every business is going to have something that's doing this, okay? So you just think about a restaurant. Yes, you can, like they can, advertise by putting their real estate, putting their restaurant in the center of a heavy traffic area, like a mall or Broadway or something like that, okay? And then you're going to walk in the door. That's the contact. Then you're going to say, can I have a seat? And they say, well, do you have a reservation? No, I don't. Right? And so you have to wait or come back in another time. And then the presentation is going to be the food, the menu, okay? And so then sometimes they follow up with you, but you became a customer. All right. So you kind of get the picture of this. So in my world, I ran an ad in the newspaper. The person would call and leave a message on my voicemail. I would contact that person back, talk to them, and then set an appointment for me to send this package. And so this package, the advertisement cost $320 a week. 12 leads I would get on average, $26 for each lead. That's what it ended up costing me. Plus $13 for each package. In other words, this was about $10 with the other stuff that I had in it. It was 2 videos. So that was $39 a lead. Very different than today, okay? Lead cost has come way, way down. All right. So by doing this over and over and over again, I got better at this, at the contact. So at the beginning, I was a scared mouse. All right. I didn't know what they would say. I had all of these things in my head. I said, oh my gosh, like who's going to want to work with me? I'm a bomb squad guy. What's that got to do with business? I didn't go to college. All these things was noise in my head, right? So, but I got better. I got better at communicating. I increased my income, which meant I had a story to tell. Increased my confidence. I knew how the conversation was going to go. I knew the go and no go and how I was going to handle it. Person says no, how's I going to handle it? I didn't know even how to evaluate that, right? So person says no, am I supposed to try to talk him out of it? Person's rude to me. Am I supposed to get in a fight over the phone? There's all these indecisions that I didn't even know I was going to have to make decisions on. All right. So all of that stuff ended up pushing out because the more I did it, the better I got at it. So when I started, I was 1 out of 20. All right. So now you can see $39. Then I would have to do $39 times 19 in order to get 1 lead. Okay. So, but my statistics were 1 in 20. So every 20, I would get 1. All right. And then as I got better and better and better at this, and I kept on doing it, remember, I got a year contract in Washington Post. I was down to 1 in 10. Now I'm around 1 in 7. Okay. So now you can kind of get the understanding about how it all works. And so it gets less and less and less expensive the more and more money you make because you're moving quantity across the pipeline. All right. So, all right. How about some variables? So in this, if a prospect agrees to watch, it counts as a qualified lead. Okay. So did they watch it? Just because they said they would doesn't mean they're going to do it. I sent many videos and they never looked at them. All right. They'd never answer my call when I call them back. All right. So did they watch it? Did they watch all of it? All right. So I've called people and they say, yeah, I watched some of it. Were they distracted when they were watching it? Today, are they watching it on their phone at a stoplight? Right? The advertisement that you run is a variable. Okay. So how I generated the lead and then sent them this video, are those in alignment? Let's say that I generated a lead by saying I'm giving away a free washing machine, and this is a business opportunity. Then it's not going to match. I bought leads from a lead company, and that's what they were doing. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. The state of the prospect. All right, you catch him at a mood today, but you also catch him in despair because his wife just left and she was the source of his income. Okay? So you get the idea. So there's a state of the prospect. There's content in the video. There's the length of the video, and there's presenter in the video, and there's TV in the video. I'm joking, because I wrote a video one time and somebody said, well, that's one of those old school videos in the background. I'm like, well, what'd you think of the video? In other words, that was what he was more focused on. So in other words, there's a lot of variables. However, the estimations, the quantity that I'm giving you, 1 in 40, that's built in. Okay? Because I had to go through these kinds of numbers, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 10, and now I got to where I'm 1 out of 7. Okay? So those things are all built in. All right. Please like, share, comment. What is your math? Okay? Like, what's been your experience when you've tried to talk to prospects and like what happened in the beginning, and then how has it changed over time for you? And so that would be awesome if you'd share that with me. And also, you might think about joining our Telegram group. You're able to ask me questions. And fortunately, this video was because of somebody asking me the question. All right. So thanks so much for watching.